Aw yeah, hey guys, Rivers here, and today I have a new media player review for you. This player is called the Probox2 AVA, and it's got some unique features that you don't see on many media players these days. So let's take a closer look. So here we are with the Probox2 AVA with the Remote Plus, which is my favorite Android media player remote. Let's do an ultra quick unboxing. So first off, in case you're new to my channel, what this is a media player that runs the Android operating system like you'd find on a tablet, but on your TV. So you can install tens of thousands of apps on here. Now the AVA has a few things that you won't find on most of the other sea of Android media players out there. These features include things like an HDMI input where you can capture video from a HDMI source up to 1080p resolution. You might be wondering why the AVA is so long, and that's because it's got an internal bay for an inexpensive 2.5-inch hard drive. Internal drives eliminate clutter by being tucked away and not having an external drive sitting there, plus you get a lot of storage for your money. You can get a 2 terabyte one on Amazon for about $82 right now, or a 4 terabyte for about $134. I'll add links in the video description down below. Another outstanding feature on the AVA is the voice search on the remote. If you get the version that comes with the Remote Plus, I highly recommend that because it works really good now. Also, the Proboxes come with a cool launcher that is not only made for using a toggle remote control, but also has a feature that I haven't seen on any other Android media player, and that's a fast switch to your own custom launcher. So you hit this little button down here in the corner, and it quickly flips over. Here I've got Nova Launcher, but you could install any launcher that you want. It's also got 2 USB ports, but one of them is a USB 3.0 port, which is a higher speed port, and I would highly recommend using this for adoptable storage so you can increase the base storage of the AVA to up to 64 gigabytes. And finally, it's got a couple other nice features like Android 6.0.1, which allows you to have adoptable storage, and you have the option for 4K at 60 frames per second, and the option for HDR and HDR10. Now, let's take a deeper look at that second HDMI port, because this is one of my favorite features on this media player. This is an HDMI import, so it takes a signal in from something like an Xbox or a satellite box and puts it up on the screen. You can watch it in kind of a little minimized thumbnail here, and you can be recording it while you're watching it. So the thumbnail is cool because you can do a picture-in-picture mode where you can see it anywhere on the desktop. Like if you're surfing the web, you could also have your little video playing right here. And then you can also double click it and go full screen. So I noticed that when I recorded to the internal memory, especially if I was moving the window around, the playback of the recorded video could be a bit choppy. But if I set the recording destination to a USB thumb drive, SD card, or a hard drive, recorded video was nice and smooth. This is some video recorded in through the HDMI port and recorded to a USB 3.0 drive, and it's buttery smooth. Now let's take a look at the video capture interface. So right here you'll see the thumbnail, the video playing. You can start picture-in-picture mode. There's broadcast, so you can send it to a specific IP address if you want to. There's the resolution, which can be 640, 720, or 1080p. You've got your file storage location, and here is where you do your timer recording. So if you have a satellite box, you can set it to turn on at a certain time and play a certain channel, like for a VCR or whatever, and that's how you do a timer recording, is by using this. There are a couple features that I'd really like to see on here, and maybe they'll add them in the future. One is the ability to pause, fast forward, and rewind live TV. That way you can pause it and then come back and skip the commercials. That's the most important feature to me, and hopefully they'll add that in the future. And then also a timer recording where you'd start recording and tell it to turn off in a half an hour. But this still is a great feature, and it allows you to archive shows, record them to your thumb drive, and you could also take those off the thumb drive and play them back on your computer. They're not encrypted or anything like that. One last thing that I thought was worth noting is that if you go full screen, there's very little lag between the device you're controlling and what you see on the window of what's recording. Now let's take a look at another unique feature of the AVA, and that's the option to add a full laptop hard drive. This is a 2.5-inch drive with a serial ATA interface. It just pops in, no cables to hassle with, and these drives are inexpensive for the amount of storage you get. Here's what the connection looks like in case you need it. You could also add a serial ATA solid state drive as well, but you probably don't need that much speed simply to play back videos. I'll have links to some drives that will work with the AVA in the video description down below. Next, I want to visit the remote that you can bundle with the AVA because it's a really good remote, and I highly recommend getting it with an Android media player if you don't already have one. I use it on my other players and it works so good. So first of all, it's a gyro remote, which means you can just move it in the air and then click the button to select things like you would a mouse connected to a computer. And this is necessary because inside of a lot of apps you need to be able to move around and not just toggle. But more importantly, now it seems to be doing a really good job with voice to text. Just hit that little button on the top left-hand corner there, and it stays active for about a minute or so. Let me give you a demonstration of how it works. So the first time you do it, you'll need to enable voice to text, and when it asks you to, give it permission to access your voice. So we'll load Google Docs here, make a new document. When the keyboard comes up, you're going to hit the little microphone button on the top right corner there, and then hit the microphone button on the remote, and just start talking. Hey guys, this is Rivers with Tech Connect. I hope you're having an awesome day. And I'm testing out the voice to text on the Probox2 remote. And I'm using the Probox2 AVA actually, and it's working great, period. So as you can see, it does a great job. And I think where it messed up there on Tech Connect and changed it to Pet Connect, that was actually Google's translation problem, not the problem of the remote. It works well up to about 15 feet away, and then after that the signal quality starts degrading. Another cool feature of the AVA is webcam support. Just plug in a webcam and turn on the camera app and you're ready to go. As you can see here, it works pretty good. I did run into one problem where when I had a wireless mouse connected, it would get laggy when I'd turn on the webcam. But I disconnected the wireless mouse and used the Probox2 remote and it worked great. And that webcam support is really nice for when you want to do video conferencing. So here I'm using Facebook Messenger and I'm calling a phone, and the video conferencing works great. Audio sounds good. By the way, I tested it with this Logitech webcam, which is a 1080p cam, and it worked well. I also tested it with a 720p Logitech camera, and it worked also. Logitech cameras seem to work well on these media players, but not just any webcam will work. I'll have links to cameras that I've tested and know work in the video description down below. The AVA also has many other features that you see on a lot of players these days, like 4K 60 frames per second output, HDR, great video playback, full Google Play Store support, Kodi compatibility, and by the way, it comes rooted too. I'll have a list of any other pros and cons that I might have missed in the video description down below, right next to a link where you can buy the Probox2 AVA. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you back here again and answer any questions that you might have. Thanks so much to everyone for watching, and as always, aloha.